All about cooking, all about nutrition, and all about you. Enjoy the show. Today's show brought to you by the 30-Day Jumpstart Coaching Program. Uncover the personalized program that will get you the results you want. Today's show, pickled vegetables. Now, before we get started, we are making pickles, but it's like a pickly, cultured vegetable. But I wanted to make sure you guys clicked on this show to see why we're telling you to make cultured vegetables and all the health benefits of that. So whether you call them cultured or pickled, we are making pickled cultured vegetables. So Jeannie, let's show everybody how we can turn this radish into this radish. This is pickled and this is not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So what do you think? It tastes a little bit like a pickle.
Yeah,
there's a lot of different ways to get to a pickle. So this particular pickle is not using vinegar. A lot of you grew up probably eating pickles in which, maybe your mom took, cucumbers and she put vinegar on it and maybe a little brine, and that was the way that you got to it. This is a little different. This is a great way to get somebody who is interested in starting to get more cultured foods into their diet for the health benefits, but you don't want to spend a lot of time. You don't want to make sauerkraut from scratch and having to chop and cut and peel. So I'm going to teach you how to take like a pint jar and turn it into some vegetables that honestly in a couple of days are going to be amazing. They're going to taste fantastic. And you're going to get hooked into doing this. You're going to become one of those cultured foodies, I promise you. So what I'm going to do today is we're going to take a variety of different colorful vegetables and we're going to turn them into this. So the first thing that we're going to start with is let's get our veggies in here. So I've got some Persian cucumbers and I'm going to just pop them in, and you can put those in with a little bit of dill.
Yum.
So dill is always great with pickles. And then, just holding it in like in place, I'm going to throw in some what is
cauliflower.
that?
That actually you brought to my, you brought me some. Remember we ate it at Terranea?
Yeah, it was
for my
good.
birthday?
It was good. Yeah.
No, Christmas. It was Christmas.
Yeah.
We celebrated Christmas at the spa, and Jeannie brought pickled vegetables.
This was her holiday gift. So, this makes a great gift. It makes a great hostess gift, and honestly, you can make these really fast. So if you've got a couple extra jars hanging around the house, pop them in. I'm going to throw some of the radishes in there, and I always like to put radishes in my pickled vegetables for two reasons. One is that radishes just are naturally something that helps to support the whole digestion process. So when you're eating a radish, you actually help to start getting some of the enzymes you need to break your food down made available to where they need to go. So radishes are great whether you eat them raw or pickled. And I think we're pretty much there. Odd shapes are great. You don't have to have it be so perfect.
Don't we need room?
You just need a little room so that we can put our water in here.
And we don't want to re-put these in there because they're already pickled.
They're already pickled. Yeah, just go ahead and eat those. Those are great. A couple things you could do too is if you have some seeds around, some seeds give great flavors and just naturally are a wonderful marriage between the taste of pickled vegetables. So I've got a little coriander seed. I'm just going to sprinkle, maybe like 5 or 6 of them in here. Another great one that always is traditionally married really well with pickled vegetables is caraway seeds. So when I say, how much, it's like a pinch. Just put a pinch in and just put them in there. And literally the process of this culturing will help to enhance the flavors. And there's a lot of antioxidants in all seeds. So having a few seeds in there is just adding value. Now we're going to put the medium in which it's just some filtered water. So I've got about a cup of filtered water. And for every cup of water, put a tablespoon of salt. And I use sea salt. So 1 tablespoon, and stir that around. If the water is hot, it's going to just stir into a solution pretty quickly. And then we're just going to pour that in and cover all the vegetables.
So no probiotics in it. We have not added anything. We're not adding anything.
Yeah, you don't need to in this. And then the last thing we're going to do is that in order for things to culture, in order for the good, healthy bacteria like the lactobacillus and some of these other guys that really help to heal the gut and give you value, you can't have any air exposed. So what we want to do is use, if you've got like a cabbage leaf, or for goodness sakes, you could even use, like
for goodness sakes,
sort of Swiss chard leaf, or I was was raised Catholic, so I'm sorry. So you just put this down.
Just bless your heart.
Yeah, so just put this on enough so that all the vegetables are covered, like a little blanket, okay? So tuck them in really nice.
That's so cute.
So nobody's sticking out, and there's no air in there. So we just press that down, and there's a little bit of head space, meaning that there's a little air so that there's going to be a process where some of these vegetables will start, the bacteria that are in there are going to start feeding on those veggies, and there's a little bit of carbon dioxide that gets released. And when that happens, things start to bubble up. So don't be surprised if you didn't have a lot of head space that you might see some of the liquid actually seeping out of your jar. But we pressed it down, and it's good to go. Now what's going to happen is I can put that on my shelf, just leave it, in a sunny window or just in a place where you can keep an eye on it. And after about 2 days, you can just taste it. A lot of times in 2 days, they're ready to go.
In 2 days?
2 days. Mm-hmm. And if you wanted to, my husband actually is somebody that has eaten this, 1 day later because he can't wait because he just loves them so much. So you can just keep tasting it, but usually after about 2 or 3 days, they're ready. And at that case, you can just pop them in the refrigerator and let them sit. They'll stay. They'll continue to go ahead and get even more tangy as time goes on. But in our household, these never last very long. Like, we go through these, we make 5 or 6 jars at a time because they're so addictive. So if you're the type that doesn't really like to eat raw veggies and you're looking for maybe a way to enhance your motivation, this could be a great way.
Warm water.
Warm water.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
not cold water.
Because you need to go ahead and get the salt to actually dissolve. So
Okay.
just enough. So let's go through it. It was veggies, assorted veggies. Mm-hmm. It was water, and it was salt. And then if you had any seasonings or herbs or garlic, throw that in. But start with just something really simple like what I just did. Try it. Let them sit for 2 or 3 days. And if you're turned on like I know I got, then you can really start becoming much more creative.
It's so pretty. Is there any amount of time that's too long to have them sit out?
Honestly, within 2 or 3 days, they're going to be ready. And so you don't need to let them sit longer. If you let them sit longer, you might find, just a little tip, you might find sometimes they might get a little slimy, which is going to sound weird. They might get a little slimy. It's not bad, but just nature always is looking for wherever there is space. Like here, there's a little head space. Sometimes, you'll get, there might be some bacteria that's up here that's growing. This is not what you're going to be eating, though.
Right.
So just be aware that you stick in the refrigerator, you stop that process. So if it got slimy, it might be just because your house was warmer, things just moved faster, the fermentation process happened more quickly. But slime doesn't necessarily mean, oh my God, something's horrible for you. So think okra. Sometimes you'll get that kind of texture, which if you don't want that, then stick it in the refrigerator and you aren't going to have any problem whatsoever. So
helping your immunity, helping your digestion, very easy, very simple. Tastes
fiber.
Tastes like pickles, even though the radishes. That's how we turn this into this. I guess this way we do that way. All right, Jeannie, thank you so much.
You bet. I'd love to come back and share a little bit more about the many healing benefits of cultured foods.
Oh, you'll be back.
The Fit to Love podcast show offers you 6 days a week of helpful content to achieve the happy life you deserve. Movement Mondays and Tasty Tuesdays are weekly videocasts, while Wellness Wednesdays, Thoughtful Thursdays, Freedom Fridays, and Sexy Saturdays are audio-only shows themed every week to address your holistic life and needs. If the show inspired you, we would love for you to share it and subscribe. Thank you so much for joining us today. Head on over to fittolove.tv for recaps of every show, resources, and to join the community. That's FIT, the number 2, LOVE.tv. Have a fit and fabulous day.